nice to see you again. Today video is going to be a fun one, especially for people who love decks. I thought I'm going to share with you some of my artistic decks, or what I call artistic, and it's going to be best artistic decks for collectors. All right, so what I mean by artistic could be decks that are just really beautiful. They're not necessarily so easy to use, or I don't use them very often, but I love looking at them, or I love the production of the deck, etc., etc. We are going to just focus on tarot cards. So grab a cuppa and just stick with me. All right, let's start with the Painted Tarot. I've had this deck for a couple of years now. It's by Sophie McKay, and she has created a couple of decks, a rune deck and like this funky little deck of like mixing two major arcana and creating a child out of them. So you can take a look at her website. I'm not sure if these decks are still available or not, but yeah, I've had them for years, and I think this is such an awesome deck. So these are the backs, love them. I think they one of my favorite backs ever. And this is my Mary Magdalene card, also really, really cool. And this deck is kind of made out of people, and you would think maybe that it wouldn't be so easy to, read deck with just like close-ups of people, but the colors of this deck they are so expressive, and they actually, it's an easy reader, and it's a very emotional type of a deck. It's emotional connection. Look how beautiful this Nine of Swords is. Wow. So whenever I pull this deck out, I'm like, shit, it's so pretty. And I just love her use of color. I love how she created the archetypes. Look how dynamic that Three of Wands is. This is the Sun card. And yeah, it's just really, really gorgeous. So this is the Painted Tarot by Sophie McKay. Very, very cool. And I think it's one of my fave artistic decks. I also picked some more decks that I haven't shown for a while. So, a lot of my decks are artistic, because that's why I love having many decks, because I appreciate tarot as, like little art galleries. The other one, there's no order at all. The other one that I pulled out is Moon Baby Magic Tarot by Angela Mary Magic, and I love this deck. I have an interview with Angela. It's such a cool, funky deck with like a really cool, sweet take on tarot, with a song attached to each card. There's reversed and regular size of the cards mentioned in the booklet, and it's a very quirky, again, very colorful, totally different take on tarot. So Nine of Lasers, or King of Caves. She also changed the names of the suits, and there's blades for swords, waves for cups, lasers for wands, and caves for pentacles. And I do love this deck, and you can read it with like color coordination. You can read it via the moon phases. There's moon phases on each of the cards, and each phase has a meaning and magic to it. And yeah, I just love Angela. She's such a bright light. She's got a cool YouTube channel as well, even though she's not very active on it right now, but I love her ASMR videos. So this is another one that I think would be awesome for artistically minded people. Okay, I thought this Black Lily tarot deck by Aya Rosen, it's really cool. It's a small deck, and it has been popular a couple of years ago, and I haven't, hear or see much of it recently, but I actually really love these cards as well. Let me see if I can make it a little bit closer, maybe. So again, it's maybe not the easiest to read with. You have to get to know this deck to kind of recognize exactly what card is what, especially between swords and wands. But again, there is something about this deck, the coloring, the artwork, the line that I enjoy. And I think these decks were available at one of the printing sites at some point. So I'm not sure again if this is available or not. You guys can do your own research, but I think as a collector, if up for some new artistic decks, this would be a cool deck to use. So we have Black Lily Tarot by Aya Rosen. Quite a small, cute deck. And I think we cannot really move very far without adding a couple of my favorite decks. One is the Circle of Doors Tarot, which definitely I would count to like artistic decks. It's beautiful. For this one we have to stretch it a bit because the cards are huge, gilded, really beautiful linen paper. Oh, the production of this deck is amazing. It's so beautiful. And let me just see if my microphone is still going. Okay, it's still going. Fine. So yeah, gorgeous production, beautiful artwork. It's black and white, and yeah, it's really great. So I've got also interview with the creators. The book for this deck is amazing by Brian. It's just a wonderful collaboration project, which I really look at this Ace of Cups, so beautiful. So yeah, this is a really great one. So if you don't have this deck yet, we all were raving about it, and I think it was well deserved. Another one that I never stop raving about is Crimson Asteria Tarot. I just love this deck. And again, for some people, it might be a difficult reader because it's not your typical thing. It's perfect for divine feminine work. It's perfect for shadow work. It's perfect for imagination. The cards are not as bright as the camera shows. They're a little bit deeper. They have some extra cards as well. And it's just so beautiful in my opinion. Again, like very, very sweet artistic deck for anyone loving this type of part in their collection. I think it's a must, Crimson Asteria. And then another one that I wouldn't want to be without is this, what is it? Tarot of the Drowning World, right? And it's so awesome. I wish sometimes it was a little bit brighter because it would be just easier to see. But again, the cards are really big and the details are really mighty. So I'm going to bring them to you like this. And all the court cards are created, like this artist, what's his name? He was making these paintings out of vegetables and flowers, etc. I forgot his name, but yeah, they look exactly like that. It's just, yeah, it's fun. It's, again, not easy to read if you maybe don't trust your reading style. Not right now I can read with any deck, really. And I can read it intuitively, and I can read it as Tarot de Marseille, and I can read it, as a pip style deck, etc. But it may not be so easy to use for beginners, but you can challenge yourself. But it's definitely just an amazing artistic project. That just the amount of details that went into this deck in preparation for all the cards is incredible, just incredible. So Tarot of the Drowning World. And the book for this deck is also really, really great. So let's go with the next one. I think, so you don't guys complain that I'm only showing like indie decks. Out of the mass-produced decks, I think Hoodoo Tarot is so cool. I really love it, and I think I love the artwork. I love what she did. And the Hoodoo Tarot was, I think it was out of print for a while, but it's not out of print anymore, or at least it came back. It's mass produced, so it's by Tiana Lee McQuillar, and artwork was by Catalan Foisy. Hoodoo Tarot, really cool. I love the artwork, and I'm really also enjoy and have been enjoying reading with this deck for a long time, and the book is really great, and it's like a straight shooter. And I really like it. I think the artwork of this deck is amazing. I love the vibe. I like the kind of, you know, like just the black humor in it as well. And it's really cool. Enjoy it. So Hoodoo Tarot. And another one that I really want to show you guys is Tarot Droga. Is by Marzena Mirewicz-Czumaczenko. I do have a review of this deck. She has now, it's called Tarot Droga, it's a Polish deck, and she has now produced a second edition. So this is a first edition. I did Edged Black, and the second edition is smaller, like a regular tarot deck, but this deck is also amazing because each card of the major arcana is connected with a path. Droga means path, and they, you know, when you put them from the full to the world, this path kind of connects them. So I just really enjoy. These are the court cards, and then it's like a pip deck, very elemental. So like water is blue, you know, the pentacles will be like a greenish, and it looks very kind of Greek and earthy. And there's a cool take, you know, a connection between like two lamps here and then two lamps in the Tower card, etc. It's really cool. And that's the year of the Hermit 2025. And here we have the Hermit. So I love this one. And I think for like, oh, I've got the original artwork of this, or if not original, then like handmade by Marzena. And yeah, there's death, and this is justice. I really like it. It's pretty cool. And I actually, if you can get hold of the first edition somehow, I highly recommend it. The second edition is cool too, but there were a couple of changes in the second edition, especially of the world card, which I think like were unnecessary. But you know, artists can decide what they want to do, right? Okay, so this was Tarot Droga. I cannot go with artistic deck without mentioning Carol Herzer. So what I'm going to show is the Inner Truth with glitter, and yeah, that's it. So it has, you know, these bags with glitter, and Carol Herzer has many different decks. You can get the regular or the glitter decks, and the Inner Truth I really like using for myself. It's not a deck you would use like every day because it's very like intense in a sense, but it's so beautiful. And I don't know how to show this glitter, so it's yeah, it's amazing. I love this deck, and whenever I reach for it, it's the delivers, you know. So Carol's decks in general are amazing, and you know I love them. I have a couple of different videos featuring Carol's decks, so if you want to check out my collection of Carol Herzer, just click in the loop Carol Herzer and it should show up, you know, in my in my channel search. Also, I don't think I can go off with mentioning Mysteries of Mary or Mysteries of Black Madonna, and soon the red deck that Hetien has on pre-order now. If you would like to Mary Magdalene deck, the third in the series, head over to Hetien's Patreon or her Sacred Grace art, her Sacred Art and Grace. Find Hetien Walking with Mary on Instagram, and she will have pre-orders links on her IG feed. So cool. So this, you know, what she creates is those 3D altars that then she photographs. They're amazing. I'm like blessed to have 4 of them, of the originals, and she is then photographing them and creates these amazing decks, writes the books for them, does so much research. Mary Magdalene deck took 5 years to create. So so cool. I can't wait for it. It should be coming at some point soon. Another deck that maybe not many of you remember or know or have seen is Source Energy Art by Kathleen Dale. Again, I'm not sure if you can still get this deck. The cards are huge. So this is Spolia, which is quite big, but they are even wider. And, you know, I've got it ages ago. And that is something. Kathleen is actually an energy painter, so she paints with her like intuition and with like she sees energy, and that's how she paints. So her artwork is like really I feel her artwork. Okay, it's may not be my like favorite art style for tarot, etc. Some cards are amazing, but others I'm a bit like, you know, a bit more oblivion to. But all in one, I haven't gotten rid of this deck, and I don't plan to, because I think it is very energetic and it just has some beautiful feel to it, and it has some just amazing artistic take, and especially energy wise I really enjoy her images, because I love these decks that connect to me emotionally as well, not only, you know, are they pretty to look at. So yeah, this one, the cards are huge. They used to be sold on Etsy, I think. Kathleen Dale. I do have a review of this deck. Most of these decks you can check out on my channel, on the playlist, in the playlist Tarot and Oracle Reviews. If you would like to get and see these decks used in action, you know, I invite you to get some readings from me. My bestseller that will disappear at the end of January is called Where is the Full Heading, and it has, you know, astrology cycles if you want, and it has tarot and oracle readings, and I always mix a lot of decks, so you can see some of these decks you know, being chosen for you. So here we have this incredible artistic deck, La Flora Tarot, which also comes with an amazing additional kind of companion book. I don't have the book, I have it on PDF. But yeah, it's again one of the decks that maybe it's not very easy to read, but if you like plants, if you like this art style, you might still find it, you know, fascinating and beautiful. And I think it's one of the decks that's just so well made, but again quite maybe difficult to use as beginner's deck. So amazing quality, very artistic. Look at the box, how beautiful everything is. Not a beginner's deck, but definitely for people who love that aesthetic, something to take a look at. Spolia, I know that a lot of people would love Spolia Tarot. I got it, you know, when it was still normally available. It's a deck created by designed by Tara Romeo, artwork by Jen May, written by Jessa Crispin. A very cool booklet, by the way. And it's a collage deck, but a collage deck that it's amazingly beautiful. And I love these colors. I love this deck. And it's like Minchiata kind of tarot. It has zodiac signs in it, and it has some elemental cards, like 4 elements. And yeah, the colors are beautiful, the artwork is amazing. It's gorgeous. So I'm sorry if you're pining for this deck and I just like rubbed salt onto an open wound, but I had to show it because it's gorgeous. And I think for as a creative project, also really great collage. It's this type of collage that I love, not overly busy, and just so well made with beautiful colors, cool booklet, really good project. So I didn't open it from this side. And this is Spolia Tarot. Another one that I'm kind of hot cold. I probably will sell it just because I need to make more space in my I don't have space on my shelves anymore, and out of most of these decks I use this one the least, but whenever I use it, should I sell it? I don't know. So this is already, right now it's on sale for $245 if anybody is interested. This is the first edition of Spolia Tildwick Tarot, and you can see I got it from a swap at some point, so it has like a few minor like this little scratch here on the gilding, but you know, I haven't used it much at all. It's just how it came, but the cards are still like new, I'd say. No, you know, they are not scratched or anything, just the gilding was a bit shitty. But yeah, this deck, you know, slows you down. It's, you have to zoom in, you have to take time for this deck, and every little bit of, you know, detail on this deck makes sense with connection to tarot archetypes. And look how strange is this hermit though. It's like red. I thought for a while it was a emperor and the lantern is here. So, you know, the takes are a bit different. It's kind of like Pipish Marseille, but it's so beautiful when you look at some of the images. It's so gorgeous. And this first edition differs. Oh, I love this card. The first edition differs from the next ones when they contrasted the images much more, apparently, so people can see better. But I don't know, I don't like it. I think this one is like so beautiful. Oh, so cool, the devil. I don't know, yeah, hot cold. I swear, whenever I look at it, I'm like, no, I don't want to sell it. And then, okay, I do want to sell it. Why is it just lying here? Somebody should be using it. So yeah, if you may be interested, let me know. $245 plus just $10 for postage, but PayPal fee is included. Okay, so the next one, I thought another mass market deck. This is the, what is it called, guys? Oh my god, please help me out and write in the comment. Something with dream. Okay, please help the girl out. I will pin the first comment that somebody guesses the name of this deck. And this was made something with dreams, mystical dream, something with dreams, and the lady who created it had an amazing dreams, and they full of alchemical symbols, and I love this deck, and I use it for most often as just images, as prompts, so not necessarily just looking at tarot, but they're really cool for like working with unconscious images, like with symbolic, on the symbolic level, with archetypes. It's very, very beautiful. I really love it. So whoever guesses it, please write it down, and I will pin this comment. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, please look through comments. This name of the deck will be pinned. I hope somebody will help out. Another artistic deck is this Tuatha the Danaan Tarot, which is it's not called like this anymore. Aline White Swan has changed the name of this deck. I think she got some backlash by, you know, using the Irish Tuatha the Danaan, like mythology, with mixing it with King Arthur, etc. So she's changed the name of this deck, and this was on Make Playing Cards, and it's the deluxe edition. There were some minor issues with this deck. It's not perfect in production, but I still love Aline's artwork, and I'm happy to have this deck, even though you know, it could be kind of made amazing, right? If she had an editor, or if she's done a little bit more work on the images to kind of equalize the brightness of them, etc. But it's still really beautiful. And if you're into this, you know, King Arthur, Holy Grail mythology, you will most probably enjoy it. So take a look. I also have reviews of this deck, and I think her artwork is also very kind of emotional. And I'm picking a lot of decks I can see, not like all of them, but a lot of them are kind of Queen of Cups type of energy, you know, that they like you connect to them emotionally. I think we cannot talk about artistic deck without Shelley Corbett's Abyssal Tarot. I think most of you know it, and the photographs for this deck were taken underwater, so all of these were taken underwater. It's quite an incredible deck, and quite like strong on like erotic images. So if you're not a fan, close your eyes. It's for adults only now. Sorry guys. So yeah, it's very beautiful. Some of the images are so gorgeous. The colors, how it all looks, it's very incredible. But again, not easy to read, because it's more, you know, of this like subconscious, unconscious, erotic visions, fantasies, stuff like this. So definitely a deck that can be used in many instances, but maybe not for everyone. And that's the Abyssal Tarot by Shelley Corbett. Two more decks, guys, to go. One, I thought it's going to be the Ashera Tarot by Sarah Wheatley. And this one is from 2017. This is actually the first edition. I bought it straight away when it came out. I think it was on Printer Studio or one of those game crafters, can't remember. I have these big cards, and it's on linen paper, and I love this, the coloring, and just gorgeous edition. I saw that she's put out different editions after that, so I think it's available, but maybe not in exactly the same format. And this is Tuatha based, and you know, one of those decks that not necessarily that this is like my favorite artwork, but again, I love the colors and how she did work on Tuatha and reproduced, and certain images are, I think, just worth mentioning. So it's like Mare Tarot, you know, which I showed before, but I think again this is also a beautiful deck to look out for. And then the last one is, I thought I'm going to just show you. I got it at some point from my friend Victoria, the Stolen Child Tarot by Monica Knighton. I very rarely use this deck, but I actually, whenever I look at it, I can't let it go. Because it's kind of sweet. I think it's like sweet, scary, and amazing, everything in one deck. It's not the easiest to read, but it's also not the hardest. But you have to, it's like another world. You venture into another world in this deck. And it's not this like sweet babies on the cards deck, you know. It's the inner child, the stolen child, and you can kind of get it from the title that is like something is off. And I like how she showed this. Some of the cards are just so gorgeous. So this is for the strength with this bison and the child here. Most of the cards are amazing, the images. Sometimes I just use it like a lot of these decks, just, you know, to inspire myself to work on images with my like symbolism and subconscious images, and maybe just do some creative writing with these decks, these artistic decks. They're really cool for that. Otherwise I just like look at them and they're beautiful. So this is the Stolen Child Tarot. I also have a tarot class that you can buy for $15, how to read unusual tarot decks. and I use a lot of strange decks there to show, and in my creative tarot class you can also check how to read with many different decks, you know, in one go. So I think that's it. Thank you for watching. I would love to know who guessed the name of the deck that I still can't remember, and what deck is your favorite. Let me know, and see you next time. Bye.